Hi there, Save with Crypto here. Okay, so I've got a long trade with Bitcoin going on at the moment. I just want to decide what to do with it because I'm in profit. However, it's only a 5x leverage trade. And really, I don't know, I'd be quite happy for it to be 10x. But I want to show you what happens when I do that. Because some people don't know what happens. And to be honest, I actually want to do it and record it so I can actually see the figures for myself and actually see exactly what happens. But meanwhile, just looking at the price of Bitcoin, I mean, it's come down today quite a bit actually. So during the course of today, so from like say about 2 o'clock this afternoon to where we are now, that's actually down 4%, which is quite a big deal for Bitcoin, to be honest. And I've got this indicator called WaveEdge, okay? It's by Team Underground. If you're interested in trying it out, it's not particularly cheap, I don't think. I bought it years ago. I bought a lifetime license, so I don't pay for it anymore. But these green triangles you're seeing on the 30-minute time frame, these don't happen that often. Last one was then, actually there was two then, around about 14th of May. And there were these ones here also in May. I suppose they do happen fairly often. And they're not always perfect though. They kind of indicate whale activity. And say this one here, after that there was a little pump, not massive. Then it actually came down quite a lot. So it doesn't mean 100% we're going to go to the moon. But if this green triangle stays there, I might be interested in adding to my long position. But I do want to keep an eye on the time because there's 12 minutes to go before this candle closes. And I want to make sure this green triangle stays there. Okay. So meanwhile, let's just have a look at the trade. Okay, so it's this one here, right? It's a Bitcoin USDT one. So it's the USDT perpetual. I'm trading this on Bitget. And if you want to do that as well, you can go to savewith.crypto.org/Bitget and you can get up to a $30,000 trading bonus for free. Depending on the amount you deposit and also the amount of trading you do. But there are all sorts of other bonuses as well that you don't get if you just go straight to the site. So go to savewithcrypto.org/Bitget, or you can use a link in the description down below. So this one is on 5x leverage. So here, right, I've got a stop loss set in profit, so that's okay. And there's the long position. Now I haven't actually got hardly any USDT left. There's only like $7.85 worth of USDT, which is not a lot. Now I'd love to be able to add to this trade. So I want to show you what happens when you increase the leverage. And I'm actually going to increase it to 10x, okay? Now this is quite scary, so don't try this at home. Well, you probably will. But okay, so I'm going to change that from 5x to 10x, okay? So it says here, selecting to trade with a leverage greater than 10x can easily lead to liquidation. Please adjust with caution. I mean, to be honest, you can get liquidated on 2x, but the fact that I'm in profit at the moment is fairly comforting, so I'm not too worried about that. So let's confirm that and see what happens. Okay, so I did this screenshot from earlier on, just a few minutes ago. The price of Bitcoin actually went up a little bit since then, but you can get an idea of how things have changed. So the position size, right? The position size was 0.427 Bitcoin, and it is now still 0.427 Bitcoin. Okay, the unrealized profit is about the same. It's just gone over 1,000 there. It was 924 before. However, the return on investment, it was 16.66%. It's now 37%, okay? Now, that is because, obviously, if you're on twice the leverage and you've got the same position size, that means it's only using half the original capital, okay? So the estimated liquidation price is still the same, okay? Now, I'll show you that in a moment because that's the interesting part. Now, the reason the liquidation price hasn't changed is because you're still providing the same amount of margin, even though you're on twice the leverage. But what it does mean is you can reduce the margin now. And to be honest, the estimated liquidation price being down at 52k doesn't really interest me, because if it comes down to this green line here, which is the entry point, I'm going to close it anyway with that stop loss. So I don't mind if the liquidation price comes up a little bit now that I'm in profit and now that the trade is protected with a stop loss. So let's have a look what happens if I reduce the margin. Okay, so you can do that by coming to here, decrease margin. Okay, and if I was to use all the capital that I've got now, which is actually 2,712 USDT, that would put the liquidation price up to 58,755, which is okay. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Now what that means is that whereas before I had $7 spare, I've now got $2,720 spare. So I can use that now to either add to the trade, or I could do something like short in the opposite direction. So let's say I just want to add a bit to the position here. So let's say I want it to do it at 66735. So if I go 66735, and I want to increase it by not too much. I just want to make it that up to about half a Bitcoin. So I need something like 0.18. So I'm looking at this green figure here. So I can do that by using about half the capital. Okay. So I can do that, and that will create that order there. Now the only thing, this stop loss might end up in a place where I don't want it to be, because when that order fills, or if that order fills, it will push up the entry price. Okay. Just the same as it would do with any other trade. So for the moment, I'm just going to pull this back a little bit, just to about there. And then if that order fills, I'll then decide what to do. Now, the thing is that a good level, 66735? Let's just go back to trading view. And let's look at the VWAP standard deviation bands. Oh, and by the way, that candle did close with the green triangle there. And it's now got a green cross from WaveEdge, which can indicate a change in direction. However, that works much better on the larger time frames. And really, 66,409 might be a better entry. Well, I was just about to record that happening, and then this big sort of wick came down. I think there was some, I don't know, there was some FUD about the Ethereum ETF or something like that. So you can see here, that did fill at 66,409. Okay, which is quite good because we're actually back up at whatever that is now. I did remove the stop loss when I saw it coming down real quick, so I need to put that back in really. Where are we now? So we're currently $1,000 in profit again. The position size is bigger now. It's like $41,000 and return on investment 25% at the moment. So I can probably afford to put a stop loss about here. Somewhere like 66,126. So let's do that. 66,126. Okay, so that'll make 10%. Which if I go for 65,800, that's 5.8%. Maybe 900. Just trying to avoid those round numbers like 66,000. You know. Okay, so if I have it at 65,900, that will give a profit of 7.32%, just in case it comes down there. So there you go. So let's confirm that. So you can see now that I've got a risk-free trade. It's much bigger than it was before. And if, say, I was to target a take profit of something like, well, let's know, 72,000, something like that. I think it'll go there, won't it, eventually? That would actually make $4,000, which would be nice, wouldn't it? I might leave that like that for the time being. Okay, cool. So I think that was quite a good example of what you can do by changing leverage in the middle of a trade. And that's the way I prefer it. I prefer to start off with low leverage and then go higher if I get into a good position, get into a position of strength, if you like. Going the other way is not so easy because you need more margin. So if you've gone in at 10x and you want to change it to 5x, you're going to need more margin. And that kind of implies that you've made a mess of your entry. So really, you shouldn't really be thinking like that. You should be thinking, just get out the trade and look for a better entry. But really, if your entry isn't right, then you don't want to try and fix it by adding to the position or adding margin just to get around it. I mean, I do it in some circumstances, but not always. And sometimes I get out alive, but sometimes I don't. So be warned. And at the end of the day, with something like this, it's better just to walk away with a little bit of profit or hardly any profit rather than lose a ton of money. And by the way, I may decide to move this a little bit because I think the price actually might go higher than 72,000, but we can talk about that later. Okay, so the first part of the video there was on Thursday, the 23rd of May, which is the day that the ETF for Ethereum got approved. And it didn't really have much effect on the price of Ethereum, really. Just sort of, I don't know, we had this dip down when nobody was quite sure if the news was real or not. And it went down to like, $3,500. Then it went back up to like 3,900. And then overnight it sort of come back down to whatever that is, 3,730. I am sort of looking for a long entry somewhere around here, 3678. This was an old support level that Satoshi Stacker actually mentioned months ago. Now then, for Bitget's competition, I am putting together a team, a trading team, to hopefully win a Ferrari and other things as well. Probably won't, but if you view my team, you can see that I need 10 people. And at the moment, I've only got 5, and that includes me. And I think the fun thing about being in a small team rather than being in like, Carl the Moon's team or whoever the big people are, is that, you can have a little bit of a competition with us lot, and we can communicate in the Telegram channel, share strategies, and hopefully we'll make a load of money anyway. And if we do happen to win the odd Rolex or a Ferrari, all the better. But I'd really appreciate it if you did join the team. So you can get to that by going to bonus.bitget.com/team. So yeah, I'd love to see you over there. And by the way, the competition doesn't start for 2 weeks. So if you haven't got $100 at the moment, it doesn't matter. You can still join the team now. And then you've got 2 weeks to get $100 together. And then we can start trading in 2 weeks' time. Or actually, it's about 12 days from now. So that's going to be great fun, I think. So if you like the sound of that, please give the video a like. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do like the video. And of course, make sure you're subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. But above all, tell your friends and tell them to join the team as well. All right, take care.